So today is round one between India and USA started with India winning pretty convincingly. India won by a score of 5-1. India was playing the same team which India played in round one of the quarterfinals, which was against Ukraine. And India won here very convincingly. Uh, Anand won his game against Xiong. Xiong has some beautiful novelty, but Anand took him very good on the board. Then Hari Krishna was had an inferior position, but his position improved and he striked. Okay, now it had Irina Krush. She was one of the very good women players. Even Anna Zatorsky. Both of them were very strong women players. So Humpy took her to a draw. Then was Harika's game. And Harika has been in tremendous form. In quarterfinals, she was 3 out of 3. In this also, she won her game and she striked for India. Then there was Nihal Sarin versus Avander Liang. Avander Liang is a very powerful junior. He, he he stood Nihal to a draw. This was the first draw of Nihal. Yeah, in semi-final, it was the first draw of him. Else he has won all his unbeaten streak was his winning streak was came to an end by this match. Then Vaishali. Vaishali brilliantly played and she won the game. Then round two. What India has been doing in this tournament got repeated. India um, India collapsed suddenly. How we are going to see now. So yeah, the round two started. Uh, like last time, second match with it played, and at the same time, instead of Nihal Pragnananda got a place. Rest all the team was same for India. Yeah, so the game started. Jeffrey Young played the English. He played a non-theoretical line where there was no theory there against Vichy. And at the same time, Vidit also played. Vidit also played Ray Robson. He played he played some sort of line which had played he had played before. He had a fairly good experience over that line, which was a bit drawish line. Then Koneru played with Crush, where Koneru had a comfortable position again. Harika played Nazi, where Harika had a winning position, and Prag played a Wonder, where Prag was a piece up, but he had some compensation of Wonder. And Thalia played with Vaishali, where Vaishali was the clear favorite because Thalia is very weak. Okay, the game started. Anand, first of all, lost to Xiong in a equalization, a plus position. He just blundered a mate. He just blundered the mate, and then he had to resign because he just blundered off the mate. So it was a little careless by Vichy. It was the first loss which came in the worst possible scenario because they needed him to draw. Then with it. Seeing that Vichy was losing, Vidit had to take some risk in a very drawish position. It was so drawish that yeah, you can probably that you have to. It's very drawish. You have to repeat. But when Vichy lost, Vidit had to play for a win. So Vidit had to give up the full C file to his opponent, which made him in a very inferior position. But there was no option. He had to play on else because Vichy was already lost. Then the game of Humpy came. Humpy drew a game very easily against Crush. Then the game of Harika. Harika had already won her game. So Harika won her game. And Pragnananda also lost his game. And Vaishali, who was everyone was expecting to win, also drawn the game. So that was a bad news for India again. So this forced a tie break. In the tie break, everyone was expecting that. Everyone thought that Vidit is very comfortable with the black pieces, but for Vidit to get black pieces, Anand had to play because Vidit is number two in India. So with whomsoever he plays, if he whomsoever he plays against, if he draws the game, if he draws the game. Oh, I'm sorry. With the black pieces, with it is very comfortable in drawing. So if with black pieces, with it could draw the game, it would be a good result for India. And Anand can strike with white. But the decision was made, which is a bit shaky, that Hari Krishna and Adiban played on the top boards, which was very shaky decision. Then Humpy versus Crush, Humpy, Harika, Nihal, and Vaishali. Everyone expected them to play. So let's first talk about, okay, India lost by a score of 4.5, 1.5. Nothing much to discuss. It was a blitz game. You have to blitz out the moves. So nothing can be done there. India lost the game. But there was some internet issue with Adiban Bhaskaran and with Vaishali. Vaishali was just meeting her opponent. It was a meeting attack. It was easily a mate, but her I don't know, she disconnected. It might be because of internet or because of anything, but India disconnected. Like India didn't like Vaishali and Adiban lost their games because of internet. Adiban was already lost. It was a lost position for Adiban already, but Vaishali was winning. So that was a very big blow to India. Hari Krishna and Adiban both lost their games. So that was one thing. Harika won again. That was another good thing for us. That Harika has been in great form. She has in the elimination she had won 6 out of 6, which is phenomenal. Harika has been the sort of MVP for India. So very good for India about that. But the thing I wanted to tell you guys is that um, is India has made some mistakes this time. If you see India, where India had some winning position, like against weaker opponents or with less pressure situation, India always didn't perform up to the mark. Like if you see in the group stages, we played how many? We played 9 games. Yeah, so we played 9 games in the group stages. From nine, we won 6 of them. 2 of them were draws, and the 2 of them which were draws were against weaker countries. Like, firstly, India drew with France, and second, India drew with and India drew with Slovenia too. So both of weak countries we drew. Even against Belarus, we were about to lose. We were 3.5, 2.5. We were 3.5, 2, and we were 3-2. And Vaishali had a losing position, but luckily, she won the game. She drew the game, so India won the match. But you see how we are in pressure situations, and against good teams like Hungary and Azerbaijan, we win the game very easily. So that is one thing that India. So yeah, India performed pretty poorly against the in low pressure situations. So that was one thing that I did notice. Second thing that I noticed was that India had some showed some very bad signs of collapsing every time, which is never good never good to win a tournament like this. Like if you see last year. Last year we had such good performance in uh, every part of match. We were pretty good. For example, against in the group stages, we all won all the games very well, um, except one where we disconnected because of internet. Uh, so yeah, that was a draw, but India showed phenomenal class there. Second, one of the very weak points about India was its decision making. Last year, Vidit Gujarati was captain. Last year, we didn't have the much resources. Like we didn't have much support from neither from ASCF, neither from that. We could realize that we had the captain who had to decide everything. So that was a very bad. So that was a very poor thing that we did this time. I think so. Captaincy could have been very much better. I think so. Yeah, great respect for Anand sir, but Vidit Gujarati is was a lot better captain. I supposed this time everyone got a chance to play. That was that. But when you are winning, you like when some player has a bad form, it's better to keep him out. Like Vidit didn't play very well in the first round. Vidit didn't played in quarterfinals very well. So Vidit could have been given a rest. Yeah, and then when you are doing pretty well, then there is no big need to change the team. For example, when you win the first game, then there is no big need to change the team. There is no compulsion. You can always so that is one thing that I noticed that we were having constant changes, giving everyone the chance is good. But in quarterfinals, we always want a very safe players. Like for example, in this tie breaks also having players like Hari Krishna and Adiban was not the best option because Vidit was a must. Vidit has been playing. He is a master of blitz. He is one of a very good player of blitz. Recently, he won the title Tuesday too, so that shows he beat Nakamura. He has been in good very form about blitz section. So yeah, that was one thing. Yeah, Anand also didn't play any of the blitz game where he should have played. He's brilliant in blitz, but he played both of the rapid games. That is the reason I think so. But Anand should be ready to play like because Humpy and Harika played all the six games all the time, so he should also be prepared that he should also play. So I think so that was one thing where India lacked. That was the captaincy. That India should have been captaining better. Yeah. Then another thing that would have been there was that was like yeah, everyone knows that Vishy is like a world champion. He has very tight schedule and everything. But after all, uh, being a world champion or being anything does not matter. It does not matter at all. Whosoever is the captain, the thing that matters the most is that how you are bonding with the team. If you see that everyone knows, like last year Divya Deshmukh was playing very passive in the first 2-3 matches of the group stage. So it was Vijit's responsibility that he had to tell her to play. So he did. He called it. So she mentioned all of this in the interview that Vidit had a very long talk with her one day. He told him that all the all the fame you get from winning is yours. All the all the bad things from losing is mine. So she told her uh, that don't care about losing or winning. Losing will be my responsibility, and winning will be your fame. So she said very motivational lines to her. She was inspired, and then she played. You know how she played very fearless chess. So that was one very important thing. Excuse me, just wait a second. I'll just have some water. Yeah. So that was a thing that you have to be bonding with the teammates. You have to give them some prep talks. You have to give some. You have to constantly try to inspire them. Captain's role is not just to decide the pairings or anything. The captain has to be very much into the sport. The captain have to have a very has to have bond with him very strongly. So that was one reason, and you don't expect Vishy Anand to do that thing for you because Anand is very punctual, first of all. But you cannot, you cannot. Every finger in the hand is not the same. So there are some players who do not want any who do not want to wake up early or do anything. They want to have a chill routine. Yeah. So people like Tanya, I'm just using her as an example because she's the one who likes to wake up early, late. Sorry, does not like to wake up early. So you have to take everyone in a team and you have to constantly tell them all about things. So that was one thing that I thought that Vishy made because whenever you see any video of chess based India, you see that there was no Vishy, there was Vidit. There was AD, there was Srinath, there was Abhijit Kunte, there was everyone in the screen. There was Tanya. Yeah, we saw that Bhakti and Savita and they were together we saw, but we never saw Vishy. Vishy would have. So that is not the way you treat the team. You always need to be with everyone. You need to give them prep talks. You need to be with them. You need to make them realize that they are not a captain, but they are a friend. Yeah. So that was one thing. That is the reason all the countries have played smart. Uh, if you see Azerbaijan doesn't have their captain Taimur Rajabov. Even they don't have Shakir Mohammadian as their captain. They have someone else as their captain. Even in the USA team, it does not. It the captain of the team is not the captain of the team is not Jeffrey Zion. It's someone else. And even in the Russian team, it's not Daniel Dubois or Vladislava Time with someone else. So that is one very important thing that you should never take a captain who is like very a top player like Vishy Anand, like Vidit and everyone are also top players, but they are not like Vishy. Vishy is a five-time world champion. She has a very strict routine. So you have to take someone like that who can walk with everyone and give them enough motivation to do things. So that was one thing that India lacked, and what should be done for India to win the Olympiad next time? It's definitely if India experiments. Firstly, Divya Deshmukh should be have been in the team because Vaishali had too much pressure this time. Savita she didn't give a performance up to the mark. So that was one very important thing that India should have done better. Uh, yeah, I think so. Rating is irrespective of how you play. So that is one thing that how much ever rating you have, it does not matter. The only thing it matters is how you play at the top level. Savita Shri proved that she is not very ready to play now. So yeah, Divya Deshmukh and Vaishali would have been a deadly combo. So that was one thing. Secondly, there was no such big thing that India should have done better. I think so. Another thing is changing the captain. I would love Vidit as a captain again. Vidit Gujarati, I think so. If it's captain next time, India is surely going to take the cup home. So that was one another thing. And one last piece of advice which I would like to give. What would you have been? Yeah, people might disagree, but I surely believe that Tanya Sachdev should not be have been in the team now. It should have been someone else, probably someone like Padmini Raut, who did well. Padmini could have been in the team. She's a very strong player. So that was another thing that we should have been done better to bring in Padmini. So yeah, Tanya Sachdev, as I was telling, that is a very good commentator. So, like we saw that in every game she had a very inferior position, and then she managed her opponent either blundered because they were lower rated. So that was another thing that India should have had some other player instead of Tanya. So that was the only thing. And next time, if India manages to get in Harika and Humpy, and if possible, Hari to in one shell in one roof, it would be ideal because they have been feeling left out. Because yeah, that was one thing. So yeah, people would have been now offended in the comments that how can they say such things to Vishy the legend? I'm not been very much like he has done this wrong or anything. I respect him supremely. But I would like to ask that did he go in every room to tell every player before every match that how they have to play and that yeah, so did he go to every player and then tell them that how they have to play, how what is the strategy for today? No, he could not have done that. Did they analyze and tell them their mistakes every day? No. So that type of help is required by the team. And it's so unfair for Vidit. Vidit won the last Olympiad. You see that Vidit took all the stress. Vidit was the one, even Srinath, but Vidit was the one who every night until midnight he would have analyzed the games and decide the pairings, all of these things. Who have done this? Who has done this? It's Vidit Gujarati guys for you. Now, or every internet connection issues, who took it for himself? He took it. He then went and played so many games. He was the best performance amongst everyone. It was with it, guys. But if you see that, then when AICF came and it was like everything is sorted, all the issues are sorted, everyone will be there. Then if Vichy takes on the captaincy, how will this be fair for Vidit? You understand that? How is this fair for Vidit, guys? This is not at all fair for him because he is the one who won the Olympiad. If India would have lost, yeah, if India would have lost the Olympiad last year, there would have been no talks. Like, okay, India lost. Nothing would have been in the news. But since because of efforts, we won the Olympiad. Everyone had like people took very seriously. people acknowledge that wow, chess, India won chess. Chess is a very good career now. So the thing that boomed chess in India was because of Vidit, and then when people were like, okay, very excited about the next Olympiad, then if you bring in Vishy, then this is just very unjust. Like AICF did this all uh, because India won their last Olympiad. If India would have not won their last Olympiad, AICF would not have done this. There were sponsors coming. All because of Vidit, guys. This is all because of Vidit. Vidit had a very big role in all of this. And then dismissing him from captaincy is a very stupid decision. You saw how last time Vidit took all the correct decisions. You saw that all the things fell into place because of Vidit. So I thought that this was just a very bad decision to dismiss Vidit as captaincy. Uh, even uh, even Anish Giri recently spoke about it, that how he feels like Vidit is the first captain after winning the Olympiad. He was dismissed as the captain. So that was in a very polite way telling that how can Vidit be dismissed as captain? So that is one thing that am very upset about because there were many things, captaincy issues which allowed with it, which didn't allow us to win the tournament. Else our team was very supremely strong. Everyone was in good form. But that was a thing that I think so should have been done. So yeah, that is it. I'll be covering some other tournaments. Now I am going to take a break because there is no more tournaments much. Uh, I'll just be covering tournaments which Vidit is going to play because, as you know, I'm chess really fan. So yeah, that is the thing. I don't know when Vidit will play next. I might make some Champions Test 2 round up videos. It will be very short. I'll not be analyzing games. Just I'll be telling about the games, maybe. And surely I'll be covering tournaments like Isle of Man, Grand Swiss, Grand Prix, where Grand Prix, sorry, where Vidit plays. Yeah. So thank you guys for watching. Now I'm going to meet you after some time. Bye.
बनना चाहे तू भी तार शतरंज का